Hey everyone, this is Rachel with lohcasa, and if you're watching this video, it's because you're potentially interested in a Salt Lake City, Utah deal. And a lot of the time we promote arbitrage opportunities for Airbnb operators and investors, but this time around we have something special. This is going to be a subject to type of transaction. It's going to be a home purchase. If you are someone that is not familiar with that transaction style, please do your research. Please make sure that you read up on it, you understand it before you inquire about this deal or potentially put in an offer. So, important to note, it is fully turnkey, ready to go. It is not a fix and flip. It does not need any repairs, any heavy repairs at least. It is in great condition. It looks phenomenal. Let's just look through some of these photos right here. This is the outside. It has a carport. This is the inside. I mean, if you're going to be someone that turns this into a short-term rental, this is a great inspo right here. I mean, it just looks perfect. This was owner occupied. This was not a short-term rental or anything of the sort. It was never used as a long-term rental either. There was never any tenants living in there. So this is the outdoor area. It's pretty big. It also has a shed right here. Obviously, you could potentially do some things with that. Look into the permitting. And you could potentially put a hot tub, which is great because this is a home, and I'll just preface right now. It is only a 2-1. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. It is in a phenomenal location though. I mean, it's walkable, it's in a great neighborhood, but it's very, very important to note that this would not make any money as a long-term rental as of right now with where the market is at. So if you wanted to rent it out long-term and potentially get some cash flow, it's not going to happen. It will be in the negatives. Also, once you do receive this address and you run the numbers on AirDNA of what this specific home could make, it'll show you around $30,000 a year. And I'm going to show you some additional comps on why it could make more than that. But I just want to make sure that I give you guys full transparency because just looking at this deal, you're like, it is a loser. But there's a lot of different things that you can do with it to make it a winner. And of course, the main reason why people get into subject to is because you have to have very little cash, right? You can get into the deal for almost nothing. You don't have to show your credentials, so you don't have to go out and get approved from a lender. You don't have to use your credit, nothing like that. You don't have to go in, even if you're someone that's into arbitrage, you don't have to go in and get your business credit ran. You don't have to have your personal credit or background checked. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just that's something you don't have to do with this type of transaction. That's one of the benefits. You're also buying the interest rate, because what are interest rates at right now? Like high 7s, 8s. This right here, if you see, this interest rate is 4.75. It's a fixed rate. And on top of that, the maturity date isn't until 2052. So you have a little under 30 years to pay this loan back. There's no balloon, nothing. You literally have almost 30 years to pay this loan back. But again, you're going to have to understand that you're not going to make money as long-term rental, and you could potentially make money as a short-term rental if you do it right. Then you can absolutely do so. Or like I said, you could live in it as a primary. So this is the type of opportunity that it is. I just want to make sure I make that very, very clear. The remaining loan balance is $508,000, and we already talked about the interest rate. It's 4.75. The ITI per month is about $3,400. So that's principal, interest, tax, and insurance. They do have a delinquent amount, which we're going to just make the EMD because they missed their last month payment. The loan type is an FHA, and the maturity date, like I said, is in almost 30 years. So you have quite a bit of time. There's no cash to the seller, so you don't have to give any cash to them at all. You just need to catch them up on their arrears. Make sure you reinstate that amount, and then the realtor gets a flat $5,000, and the home will be vacant by the end of this month. The deposit, which is not really a deposit, just the EMD, $3,501, and our acquisition fee that we're asking for is $10,000. So this would be more of like a wholesale fee and assignment fee. That's what you can expect. None of this really matters right here. This is more so for rentals. Obviously, ignore that. But the parking is a carport, which you already saw in the pictures. There will be a permit needed if you're going to turn it into a short-term rental. Short-term rentals are very interesting in Salt Lake City because they're not heavily enforced. And the only way that you would really have an issue is if the neighbors said something or if the neighbors didn't like what you were doing. So make sure you get in good with the neighbors, make sure you explain what you're doing, and then you should be fine. Air conditioning is included, no HOA, and the washer and dryer will be included. Actually, the washer is included, but the dryer is a hookup. Okay, so the washer is included, the dryer is not. And right here, this is what you're looking at for monthly profit with a 15% buffer. So you're looking at a couple $100 per month. I mean, it's better than nothing, but let me show you why you can potentially make $50,000 a year as a short-term rental or even more. So I already went on AirDNA and I put it right where the location is. So when I go here and I put in some filters, we're going to accommodate, since it's a 2-bedroom, we'll accommodate up to 6. Bedrooms is only 2, maximum 2. Bathrooms is 1. Make sure. Okay. Entire place, home, apply. And then we're going to go ahead and include, because this is going to be important, you will, when you furnish it, you're going to need to have a hot tub. You're going to have to if you're going to want to even get close to the revenue that I'm suggesting. So let's see. Okay, sorry. I had to go back in and fix it. Okay, so we're looking at like right here. Okay, so this is where you can expect the comps to come from. So if we're looking at these different short-term rental listings, and again, keep in mind, it needs to have a hot tub. It needs to be designed really, really well, but we do have great designers that we can recommend to you that can make your property stand out and compete or exceed the existing listings that are bringing in about these amounts. So this is just one of the ones that is doing really well right now. It's bringing in close to $50,000 a year. This one is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, just like ours, and it has a hot tub. Here's another one right here. This one brings in about $44,000 a year. This one is available. It's been available for over a year as well. 4.9 stars, over 200 reviews. It's still listed on Airbnb. So if you go here, and this one, the property that I just showed you guys can be designed way better than this one, like hands down. The other one is way more charming. I mean, you already are getting inspo from the pictures, but that one would do way better. These are just some of the other ones. Like I said, like you can just kind of tell right here, the design is not, it's not really giving, but they have hot tubs. And a lot of them, look, they don't even have any reviews. So these ones that don't have reviews or that haven't been on Airbnb for longer than 6 months really don't have accurate data for us to go off of. So I wouldn't even pay attention to these. Now, something like this one, or yeah, these are really like the only 5 comps that I can give you guys. But I'm telling you right now that it can compete with the higher ones. It can compete with the ones that bring in a consistent amount of revenue, that bring in close to $50,000 a year. You're not going to be making a killing with this property until later on. It really is a long-term play. It's a buy and hold, but it's something that you can add to your portfolio for literally less than $20,000. You can get into this deal and you would own it. You own this property. And again, look at comps in the area. Salt Lake City is a hot market. Property values are going up. So I definitely think it's a good opportunity to jump on, especially if you want to start owning properties. Again, this is fully turnkey. No work needs to be done to it. You can always do different things in the back. Obviously, there is a shed. Look into your local permits. But there's a lot of different things that you can do with this property if that's the leap that you want to take, or if that's, if it fits into your investing goals in your portfolio. Hopefully this was helpful. If you guys have any questions, absolutely reach out to me or someone from the �𝐿oCasa team. We'll be happy to get you going. All right. Thanks, guys.